Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Sports Nerds. I'm here with my friends Colin and Oliver.
Yo, 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 what's up?
I'm Oliver as
Hey
well, so
everybody.
don't get too confused by that. Anything you have to say,
Got
Colin?
the just the distinct between the two Olivers over here. We got the little squeaky dude and we got the very deep voice over here. Just to,
Nonchalant, baby.
to yeah, the nonchalant little dude over here. And in this podcast we're gonna be talking about mainly football, but we might talk on a little bit of other subjects in terms of sports too, like basketball and
Mm-hmm.
maybe very occasionally soccer.
Yes.
Yes. Now, the first thing that I want to say that happened today was the Chiefs' Patrick Mahomes, who tore his ACL at the end of the 2025 season. He's fully cleared to participate in the training camp,
Mm-hmm.
said by Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Which, opinions on that?
Well, he has been doing really well pretty recently. I myself, as a Chiefs fan, I've been watching his recovery, and it has been pretty good, dude. He's really made his way back into how he used to be, and I'm kind of surprised it took this long for him to finally say that he's able to do that because I think he's been able to for a few months now.
Here, let me touch on that and add on to that, Oliver. I personally have seen the Chiefs last season do really well up until Patrick Mahomes got injured, and I
Yeah.
think the only reason that they weren't able to succeed further in that sense is because of Patrick Mahomes' injury, which I know
Mm-hmm.
is a kind of obvious thing to say, but
100%.
at the same time, I'm worried about what that means for other teams in the AFC division.
Well, really, who you should be worried for is the Chiefs because think about it. That is proof that Patrick Mahomes is the only thing keeping the Chiefs alive. And if you at all remember, I think it was 2 seasons ago, the Chiefs were guaranteed to go into the playoffs. So they did a completely backup roster against the Broncos. If you remember that, they lost so miserably, and it proves that they do not have any backups available for them. And their starting lineup is the only thing carrying their team. By the time these guys age out, the Chiefs are going to be a bad team, unfortunately.
Yeah, and
I
let me just add another, like the cherry on top for the Chiefs right here in this article that came out today. It says the good news didn't stop there either. Receiver Rashee Rice, who also had a knee injury last season, was fully cleared to participate in training camp today and is fully expected to start week 1.
Mm-hmm.
So another good thing for the Chiefs fans
That could
there.
Yeah.
also be another game changer over there. I don't know if did they get injured around the same time last season?
I feel like around the same time.
Yeah,
I
roughly.
think
Yeah.
it was because who got injured first? Was it Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah,
Whichever one
I'm
got
pretty
injured
sure it was Rice.
first, whichever if he got injured first, that already narrows down Mahomes' receivers just a little bit, you know. And then you got
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes gone, so now they're working with the second string receiver with Rashee Rice, and
Yeah.
then you got this, and then you don't even have your star quarterback, you know, to work with. So personally, what you were saying, Oliver, earlier about how the entire offense is built around Patrick Mahomes, I feel like I agree with that. But the thing that made it oh so much worse was the fact that you also had one of your best receivers out last season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Patrick Mahomes really just ties the entire offense
And
together. Like
yeah,
he's great at almost anything.
as you guys have been saying, and I just restating what I kind of said, Patrick Mahomes and the elite offense that the Chiefs has is just bringing this temporary awesomeness to the Chiefs. But the second they are gone, the Chiefs is going to downfall so badly. It's going to be a disaster.
That's why the Chiefs just need to save the moments with Patrick
Exactly.
Mahomes
We
that they
need to
still
get
have.
instead
Well,
of
I think,
instead of
I think. Oh, okay.
instead of building up an awesome offense that we already have, we need to be working on our defense and a backup roster ready to go.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna be like, we have to start looking into the people in the colleges right now in the
Mm-hmm.
college
Yeah,
football
exactly.
industry,
Well, the
and
draft
start
just happened
looking
not
at
that long ago.
who the next generation, who the next Patrick
Yes,
Mahomes is gonna be. Like
exactly.
who's gonna fill his shoes.
I
Who's
think
gonna
Andy Reid has to start focusing more on the future than building up what is already great.
Mm.
Andy Reid is just at this point just trying to build up something that already, in my opinion, reached its peak. Like
Exactly.
won
He's
back-to-back
building it
Super
up
Bowls,
past its
almost got a
max.
third, and he at this point he just needs to start focusing on the future and instead of focusing on higher like peak, which right now does not look like it can
Yeah,
be
like
achieved.
the offense is great. You just need to focus on making sure it continues to be like that instead of building it up to be even greater.
Now, speaking of Super Bowls, to shift away topics here, we're talking about a team that could be ready for a Super Bowl this season, but in the seasons in the past, they just haven't been able to execute in the playoffs, and that team is unfortunately the Buffalo Bills. Now,
Yep.
what are we going to say about the Buffalo Bills on
Now,
a positive note for the
well,
first?
before we say anything about the Bills, I just want to inform everyone that I am a Chiefs fan. Colin here is a Bills fan. And the other Deep Oliver is a Ravens fan. Just so you can have some context, because we're probably going to act biased throughout this thing.
That's true. I try to be
Hmm.
unbiased, but
So
I try, yeah, I
he's
try
gonna
to,
say
yeah.
things like unfortunately and such. Just make sure we understand he is a Bills fan.
But talking about not the best, one of the best, especially one of the best out of pocket quarterbacks in the game. Throwing on the run, we got Josh Allen on the Bills. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and now the thing that I really think he's missing, ever since Stephon Diggs had left, was one of those old reliable type receivers. Like you can always throw to him. It's like a 99% chance they're gonna catch him. Like a Rasheed Rice for the Kansas City Chiefs for the Bills.
And
Josh
another thing
Allen.
is bringing this completely changing topics here that this happened yesterday, I believe. Diego Pavia, who the Ravens signed like 83 days ago, they signed him because they need another quarterback, and he just got waived off yesterday. So
Wow.
that was making all types of news headlines because they signed him and he didn't
Yeah.
even get to compete in training camp.
Not
He
even
signed,
80 days. 83 days. Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, and he's a free agent. He went to Vanderbilt, and just one day before training camp starts, he was cut to make room for another
Wow.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's unfortunate for all the dudes who just kind of made the cut and then
Now,
completely got.
Oliver, remember when Lamar Jackson was out and there was that pretty good, like, wannabe Lamar Jackson as your backup? Is he still part of the team?
Yeah, the Pro Bowler, Tyler Huntley.
Yes.
He signed an extension last year
Good.
for I believe 3 years, and he's literally just like a recreation Lamar Jackson, just
Exactly.
like a little bit worse.
He's pretty
So
good. I don't
so
think they need a third quarterback.
so
No,
going back to the Chiefs here,
Yeah.
I think that's the type of thing that the Chiefs need to do to improve their longevity, just to make sure
Yes.
that when Patrick Mahomes leaves, it's not completely over. The dynasty can go on because I know for the Chiefs fans out there, that's what you guys are gonna want to
Exactly.
see.
And Patrick Mahomes is so good. All you have to do is train him so he continues being as good as he is. He does not need to be any better. As long as he stays this current skill, we need to focus on longevity and the other parts of the team that are eventually going to fall off.
It's gonna be like if you can keep him kind of in line, it can be like a LeBron James type deal.
Exactly.
Which
Exactly.
brings me to my next point. What do we think about LeBron James moving to the
I
76ers?
don't
well, to
know,
kind of
man.
tie the basketball and football thing together, Saquon Barkley and a bunch of different NFL players of the Philadelphia Eagles reacted to LeBron James joining Philadelphia, and they all said like this group thing, and it was just welcome to the city. So that's pretty
Nice.
Mm,
cool how they all welcome him.
I just feel like personally any community would welcome LeBron James at this point. I mean, this man has pretty much done it all. Not to
And
be good on him too much, but I think the thing that he's competing for when he's going to the 76ers is probably just the championship rings because he's got four
yeah.
versus
Going for
the
6.
other go. Yeah, I think he's going to beat Jordan 6 because in the conversation of who the greatest of all time in basketball, it's Jordan, Kobe, and you got LeBron James.
Now, I'll tell you what I'm scared of, Colin. The
Mm.
fact that someone as powerful and influential as LeBron James is going to a Philly team. That is going to be horrifying seeing
You
those
got
fans.
Philadelphia fans with LeBron James. Oh boy.
Philadelphia fans are already bad. Now that they have LeBron James, they're going to lose it.
I
There's probably a raid going on right now in downtown.
Exactly.
I cannot
There's a
agree more.
there's a riot going on there whether they win or they lose.
Or they're not even playing and just would
Yeah.
go like, "Hey guys, we
Or
should
it's
go have
just
a riot."
Philadelphia.
And yeah, it's Philadelphia. It's
I,
they're unpredictable.
I think I think personally that this upcoming season LeBron's points per game is going to be at an all-time career low. And I'll tell you why.
Well, he's getting
It's
paid an all-time career low.
that's true. That is true as well, and that's a point I'll bring up after this. I think he's going to be at his all-point low because there's so many other good scorers. Not to say that there's not good scorers on the Lakers on his previous team, but there's just so many other elite scorers that are probably going to get to LeBron's level one day. If not, they're already there. You know?
Well, as LeBron James gets older, it's kind of like a Tom Brady situation here. Well, they're just
Yeah.
going for more and more rings because, as you know, Tom
Yeah.
Brady just went over to the Buccaneers to get one more last Super
And
Bowl
then you
ring
got
before he
the
officially retired.
you got the fake retirement type deal with that, you know? You got the oops,
hmm
I'm retired. Nope, I'm not retiring anymore. I'm going to go over and do it one last time, you know?
Reminds me of
Which he
someone.
did carry the Bucks to the Super Bowl.
But what I was going to say is going back to you said he's getting paid his all-time low. He's just to strengthen my point about him chasing the championship
Exactly.
rings.
He's not chasing
He
money
went from
anymore.
like 64 something 64 something mil to like 8
To
mil
$4
in this
million
year.
a
That's
year. It's a
Oh, it's gonna be
two-year,
only
insane.
four.
$8 million.
So
It's 2 years,
thing,
$8 million.
my hypothesis kind of type deal over here.
Uh-huh.
I'm reading on Sports Illustrated. Uh, Chris Mannix is saying the move isn't about money or family, but rather the conviction that Philadelphia can add to LeBron James's 4 championship rings, which I couldn't agree with more.
And I
You
think
know?
when you think of someone like LeBron James, he is so rich. Like you don't need that much
Yeah.
more money. He is
He
clearly
yeah,
just
he
continuing his journey for the rings.
yeah. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Like
You
he
know?
doesn't need a
hmm
ton of money to keep going. He needs the rings.
Okay, on to our next topic here. This was posted today on NFL. The free agent wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is currently working with the Patriots coaching staff at training camp. So could this
Oh,
be hinting him being traded to the Patriots to help Drake May out in the future?
oh
Okay.
no. That could be dangerous as we have a young upcoming quarterback
Yeah,
like
Drake
Drake
May is going to
May.
become big, and with a consistent receiver like Hopkins, that could be
Especially with a
dangerous.
veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't, if I'm mistaken, Hopkins was on the Baltimore Ravens last season,
Yeah,
correct?
he's been
Correct.
switching teams. He was on my beautiful Chiefs at first, then he went to the Ravens, and now he might be going to the Patriots. And he's
Yeah,
not a
well,
bad player. He's very consistent, which is his main strength.
hmm
maybe we could continue the pattern and have a top tier receiver and a consistent receiver rather go over to the Buffalo Bills and help Josh Allen out, you know?
You guys, what were we, who's the person that was going to go to, oh yeah. What were you going to say about,
Oh yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I had something on the rumors about another very consistent receiver,
Mm-hmm.
Justin Jefferson,
Yep.
talking about going over to the Buffalo Bills. Justin Jefferson was on a podcast, I believe, and he had said something about Bills Mafia. He heard about Bills Mafia talking about him going to the Bills, and he was like, "Nah, I'm a Viking," you know. So I don't think that he's going to the Bills per se, but I think that he could consider it. You know, the quote right here is, "I've been hearing a couple, Mafia fans talking a little bit here and there, but I'm a Viking, so," end quote, you know?
And
Yeah.
as I was kind of saying with Drake May and DeAndre Hopkins, when you have someone as talented as Josh Allen being paired up with someone as talented as Justin Jefferson, that is an insanely dangerous combo. I think using
I
Justin
agree.
Jefferson, the Bills could possibly make their Super Bowl run they've been trying to do for decades.
And hopefully win it this time and not lose it 4 Super Bowls in
Yeah.
a row like the 90s
Yeah,
dynasty.
four in a row and they still lost.
Okay. Okay, Chiefs fan. All right.
Alrighty. All right, Oliver, do you have any more topics for us?
I'm looking through something that just happened today, and all of our North Carolina fans out there. The Panthers placed Nick Skuriton. He tore his ACL a couple of days ago during training camp on the injured reserve. So he is most likely to be out for most of the 2026 season. So how could that affect their offense and maybe defense? I don't really know what position, but
Me neither, to be honest with you. We call ourselves
apparently
the
he's a
sports,
UFL star.
We call ourselves the sports nerds, but I don't think we know a thing about football. Now, but while we're on the topic, I think next season we will see the best Panthers
He's a
season
linebacker, by the
since
way.
Cam Newton.
He's a linebacker.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
21,
You talk
and
about
he
you talk
tore his
about you
ACL.
talk about young quarterbacks who have so much potential. You're gonna talk about
Exactly.
Bryce Young.
Bryce
You
Young
know?
is elite if he is handled correctly. The Panthers have been so bad, but if you see what they did last season, they are going to improve upon that, and I think they are going to be a unit next season.
And out there, just a flicker of hope for all those Panther fans.
Yes.
You've had
Who already
so
made it pretty
many.
far into the playoffs last season.
Exactly. You have so many terrible teams, and then you got possibly, I think, the best quarterback on the Panthers since Cam Newton.
Exactly.
I have a hot take here. The Saints might be dangerous here in the next couple of years.
Why do you say that?
Because they have a very young team, and they've kind of been doing what you said the Cardinals are doing earlier. They're kind of doing like a fresh start here.
Yeah, the Saints and the Cardinals are kind of a blank canvas, so they can either go downhill or uphill on either extreme.
Mm-hmm. And with the Raiders, I don't know how we haven't touched on this yet. The Raiders signed Fernando Mendoza. How is that going to affect them here in the future, and how are the Raiders going to be better?
I think, despite the fact Fernando Mendoza is going to be there, I think the Raiders are still going to be bad.
You think?
I mean,
if they build, I don't think it's just because of Fernando Mendoza. I don't think he's a bad quarterback at all.
I totally agree with you. I think that they are so bad. They have a all-roundedly bad team that just
they need to get new coaches and everything.
Exactly. Just a talented quarterback can't fix that.
Wow, hear me out here. Did you see the Raiders? They signed Fernando Mendoza to a 4-year, $57.27 million contract.
That's more than LeBron.
That's more than LeBron was going for the Lakers over there. That's crazy.
And that's only the Raiders. The Raiders used their franchise second number 1 overall pick in the draft era to pick Mendoza.
Yep.
That's like since so they've only had 2 first-round picks since 1967.
And I mean, we saw it in the college championship. Mendoza is a talented quarterback. He has potential. I just don't think
and he's
he has
very
potential
young,
with
and
that team.
he could carry this Raiders to these Raiders. He could carry them to the playoffs.
I don't know
easily.
who the Raiders coach is, to be honest, but if that coach can improve the team enough around Mendoza to create a suitable environment for him, they could be monsters.
The Raiders' current head coach is Clint Kubiak.
All right.
And he has only been the head coach since February 9th. So that means that they'll have a brand new head coach this season
good.
going in.
Okay, that's good. I did not know that.
And then we're still talking about Fernando Mendoza over here. When he was back in Indiana College, he, I think, personally, was one of the best young quarterbacks I've ever seen in college football, period.
For sure.
He was just absolutely legendary
He was insane.
in that field. I agree completely. And, going back to all the potential that we can see for this Raiders team, if they have the right amount of money specifically and materials to add more talent to that team over the years and sort of build it up, I think we can kind of start to see the start of a Raiders dynasty coming in here.
And
but
which
that's
is also
only
scary for
if
Chiefs fans.
That's only if they play their cards right, though.
I feel like I believe that the Chiefs and Raiders could switch spots in
I
the
don't think
next
it's going to be that
maybe
extreme.
5
I think
years.
the Chiefs and Raiders could have a much better rivalry than the current one, though. It is such a blowout now.
agree.
I would love to see an even challenge. But, Colin, if you look at a prime example, Bryce Young was seen as one of the most talented college quarterbacks of all time. And I think, if anything, the Raiders are likely going to have a Panthers situation. While they start kind of bad, they kind of start pretty poor. But over time, as the coach learns to adapt to Fernando Mendoza, they are going to eventually become a Super Bowl worthy team.
Well, I feel
I
like the
could.
Panthers last season, they were Super Bowl worthy. Like they could have
Exactly.
beaten
Yeah,
Drake May.
They were pretty good.
I think all it takes, and so this is where we go to, you know, NBA. You have 7 games to win that round, and then you have for the NFL, you only
It's
get
just
one.
one and done.
Yeah.
So that's the scary part because if you have like one bad day and one bad game, then your whole season could be over.
Let's say going back to the Bills, Josh Allen, he's like the Patrick Mahomes for the Bills. If we don't have Josh Allen, it's over. This is why Josh Allen has so much pressure on him to get to a Super Bowl, because he messes up like one bad throw near the end of the game, it's over. Because there's nothing anybody else on the team can
There's no
do.
cushion behind him.
There's no cushion. Exactly.
Now,
Exactly the point.
while we're on the topic of cushions, who wants to have a little conversation about Joe Burrow and his horrible offensive line?
It's like
Oh,
absurd.
man.
Like there's no explanation to why Joe Burrow should be getting season-ending injuries every single season. Like there's no excuse
I
for that.
believe Joe Burrow and the Bengals have serious potential. We saw it in 2021. If only their offensive line wasn't just a bunch of random dudes.
Well, they had didn't they have like Trey Hendrickson?
They had a good team, and then it just got terrible.
Joe Burrow, I wouldn't compare him completely to Tua Tagovailoa, but in a sense that
He isn't that bad. It's the team around him.
I agree, and also the fact that he has been injured so many times.
Tua is
Well, it also
in himself a bad quarterback.
that brings it back up to Lamar Jackson, who gets hurt quite often because the also offensive line is not great. It's better than the Bengals.
Yeah.
But it's also not great. And
The
except
Ravens
the Ravens, they have that cushion with Tyler Huntley and as backup, where even the Ravens without Lamar Jackson could be insanely good sometimes with their offense and defense.
Now, Oliver, do they have a very good defensive tackle line?
I feel like their defensive line can be pretty decent at most times. Like I have no idea how many sacks they had, except they can be very good sometimes, and they can have a ton of sacks.
So better than their offensive line, though.
Yes, their offensive line is not amazing.
Yeah.
And any other topics that
they had
anybody wanted
30
to bring
team
up?
sacks last year because they have lineman Travis Jones with 5 sacks, which is pretty good, except the pass rush dropped significantly in production following a season-ending injury to Matabuke, which they really struggled with. That's the only thing with the Ravens. If they just get a couple injuries, they don't have a bunch of backup players to
The Ravens, like
use the cushion.
the Chiefs, it's a fragile team, okay? Injuries,
It could be really good at sometimes when all the players are healthy, except terrible even if one or two
injuries
players
really
get hurt.
the Ravens, unfortunately. I think that's something they've got to fix.
Have you guys heard about tomorrow, the 2026 NFL Flag Championships?
Oh.
That's tomorrow?
Yeah.
I haven't been following
shoot.
it.
Oh, wait, is that the NFL, like, kids thing?
Probably.
On NFL Plus? It's on the NFL platform? Hey, let's talk about the NFL flag football program.
No, let's
that
not.
seems interesting. No, we should.
I think before we go into something like whatever you were about to talk about, we have hit the 25-minute mark on our first episode of this podcast. I think we're going to have to close out around here.
I agree.
I agree.
We should save that one for the next video.
We'll see you next week to talk about next week's news. See you all later. Thank you for listening to Sports Nerds.
See you later.